Well, hello and welcome to another Classic Motor Cars Classic Car Sales video. I'm Nigel Woodward and this is a 1959 Jaguar XK150 fixed head coupe. Now this fantastic car left the factory at Browns Lane in 1959 and was exported to the US and was sold to its first owner by Jaguar Motor Cars of New York. Now the car only actually passed through two owners in the US between 1959 and the mid 1980s, when its third US owner commissioned a recommissioning of the car and used her very lightly thereafter. Now wind forward to the mid 1990s and the third owner exported the car back to the UK here at Classic Motor Cars, and he commissioned us to carry out a total restoration of this fantastic car. Now, as part of that restoration, we obviously carried out a full mechanical overhaul of the car, as we do with all concours or any restoration that we carry out, and we restored the car back to concours condition, including its original imperial maroon paint finish, and I think you agree it really suits the car. We also retrimmed the car in a complementary red leather hide interior, and upon completion of the restoration, the owner exported the car back to the US and used it very lightly back in the USA. Now the car changed hands again in 2007, and the fourth owner of the car was a keen Jaguar enthusiast. He was a member of the Jaguar Enthusiast Club in the United States, and he exhibited the car at a number of concours events. And believe it or not, in 2007, some 15 years after we completed the restoration of this car, it actually won the Best Restoration Award at a major concours on the Pacific coast against an entry of 250 other cars. So for this car to have won that award at a really major event 15 years after its restoration, I think speaks volumes about the quality of the work that we carried out to this car. So here we are in the cockpit, and as you can see, we've got the walnut trimmed instrument panel, and the interior, some 25 years after its restoration, is still in absolutely amazing condition. Really beautiful. Nice motor steering wheel, and this car has got power assisted steering. So the smaller wheel actually works really very well with that power steering. Modern hi-fi, as you can see, and there's also Bluetooth in here as well. So a few upgrades. And generally, as you can see, it is still in absolutely mint condition. So while we're in the cockpit, we'll start her up and we'll just see how she runs. Okay, there we go, on the button. So just settling down to idle. She's not fully warm yet, but great oil pressure, and really nice snappy throttle response. So while the engine's running, let's have a look under the bonnet. So there we go, under the bonnet. So aluminium radiator, alternator upgrade. I think I mentioned earlier the car's also got fitted with power steering, and she still runs absolutely beautifully. 25 years since the restoration, not covered a great deal of mileage, but she runs beautifully, quiet, no nasty noises, and we'll see how she goes on the road in a few minutes. A lovely thing. So while we're here in the boot, just show you the sort of size of the boot. So they're not huge on 150s, but you can get some squashy luggage in there, it makes them quite useful. And that is the original steering wheel for the car, so that's quite a nice thing to have. So let's see how she goes on the open road. Gearbox in this car, modern 5-speed gearbox, so all. There we go, I've gone from 5th to 3rd, and she changes beautifully. So while you can make a Moss gearbox, the original gearboxes work very well indeed. From the point of view of ease of use and convenience, I think the 5-speed is definitely a great upgrade to have. We also have power assisted steering, as I think I mentioned earlier, so back and pinion power assisted, and steering is very, very accurate in this car. She drives beautifully straight, hands off, very, very stable, great ride quality, I've got to say. Always a good feature of 150 in this car is no different, in fact it's particularly good, it's very good indeed. So we'll try the brakes in a second, we've got a roundabout coming up, so we'll give them a good push and we'll just see how the brakes do. Here we go. Yeah, lovely, powerful, firm pedal, really nice. Quite a tight roundabout here, she turns in very nicely. That fantastic torquey 3.4 litre engine pulling us out of the roundabout. Absolutely brilliant car, I absolutely love this. I like 150s anyway, they offer very spacious accommodation, they're comfortable, and if you're tall like me, they're a particularly good choice. And I've got to say, 25 years on from the restoration of this car, it does not disappoint. You know, if I didn't know the history of this car and you asked me how long ago it's been restored, you know, I'd say 1 or 2 years. It feels really, really fresh, it's tight, there's no squeaks or rattles, steers beautifully, fantastic smooth, lusty, torquey engine. What's not to like? I've got to say, it's a beautiful car. Just turn around in this junction, and there we go, power steering. Oh, it's all too easy. It's just too easy to drive. So there we go. I've got to say I really enjoyed doing that drive, and I've got to say this is it's one of the best 150s I've ever driven. It's really fun to drive, you just can't fault it. Combination of the power steering making it easy and light to drive, the 5-speed gearbox, full synchro mesh, it's just a dream to drive, just so easy. So a really, really beautiful XK150. Great history, everything's documented, our restoration of the car, every penny that's been spent on it since that restoration. Comes from a very good home, one of our very good customers who's asked us to find a new home for the car, and a really, really safe way into XK150 ownership, with a car with tremendous provenance, great history, and a really, really sound pedigree. So if you're interested in this car, why not give us a call, 01 746 765 804, or drop us an email at mail@classic-motor-cars.co.uk. We'd love to demonstrate this car to you. You won't be disappointed. I think this is as close to perfection as you're going to achieve in an XK150. It's very, very difficult to, or impossible I would say, to fault a really great car. Come and take a look at it. Thanks very much.